On the bridge of the formidable starship Zoblation, Admiral Gleep surveyed the bright blue globe of Earth with a mixture of anticipation and confidence. The Zoblation hovered in stealth mode just beyond the moon, cloaked from human detection. The Admiral, a four-eyed veteran of numerous intergalactic conflicts, believed he had perfected his plan for Earth's swift and silent conquest. Today, he announced to his eager crew, "We will secure our place in history as the conquerors of Earth." His second-in-command, Lieutenant Zorp, manned the communication console, ready to intercept and decode Earth's transmissions to pinpoint their most festive and vulnerable time for attack. The data streamed in, filled with colorful bursts and loud, rhythmic explosions. The humans called it New Year's Eve, a time of global celebration, marked by what appeared to the untrained alien eye as chaotic pyrotechnic displays. "Admiral, they're launching missiles everywhere," Zorp exclaimed, misunderstanding the fireworks. "Perfect cover for our invasion." Admiral Gleep rubbed his tentacles together, a grin spreading across his face. "Initiate Operation Sparkle Down," he ordered, confident that their light show cannons, which emitted dazzling but harmless lights, would outshine and confuse the humans during their own primitive displays. As Earth began to count down to the new year, the Zoblation made its approach. The crew readied their equipment, targeting the most significant human gathering they could detect, Times Square in New York City, where the crowd was massive and the energy palpable. The ship descended, cloaked and silent, until it hovered unseen above the revelers. As the countdown reached its climax and the ball began its descent, Admiral Gleep gave the command. "Now! Unleash the grand spectacle." At the stroke of midnight, as the humans erupted into cheers and the skies lit up with fireworks, the aliens launched their own light show cannons. Brilliant beams of light in every color imaginable shot out from the ship, weaving through the night sky, creating patterns far more intricate than any firework could produce. The crowd in Times Square, already dizzy with celebration, looked up in awe. Cameras flashed, people cheered louder, and the media began to buzz about the unexpected upgrade to the New Year's fireworks display. The aliens, watching from above, mistook the cheers for panic. "They're in disarray. Look how they scramble to record our might," Admiral Gleep declared proudly. However, down on the ground, the scene was far different from what Gleep imagined. Instead of fear, there was fascination. A young woman in the crowd turned to her friend, shouting over the noise, "This is the best New Year's ever." The city outdid themselves. Back on the Zoblation, confusion set in as Lieutenant Zorp monitored Earth's social media feeds. "Admiral, they seem to be enjoying it." Admiral Gleep squinted at the screen showing humans smiling, dancing, and embracing. "Impossible. Prepare for another volley. Increase the intensity of the light show. We must strike fear into their hearts." As the second wave of light effects began, even more elaborate and bright than the first, the crowd's excitement only grew. People danced under the lights, believing it to be a magical start to a new year. Admiral Gleep, faced with the unexpected joy of the humans, slumped back in his command chair, utterly baffled. His plan to disorient and conquer through chaos had backfired, serving only to enhance the Earthlings' celebration. Thus, the first battle of the invasion ended not with a bang of terror, but with a symphony of cheers and applause for what was deemed the best light show Times Square had ever seen. After the surprising turn of events in Times Square, Admiral Gleep and his crew retreated briefly to reassess their strategy. Confounded but not defeated, Gleep convened an emergency meeting aboard the Zoblation. The atmosphere was thick with confusion and a hint of disbelief. Analysis: Lieutenant Zorp. How could our display of power be interpreted as a festivity? Admiral Gleep demanded, his four eyes narrowing in frustration. Zorp shuffled through his data tablets, his antennas twitching nervously. "Sir, it appears that Earthlings celebrate by launching colorful explosions in the sky. Our light show coincided perfectly with their New Year's Eve celebration, enhancing rather than intimidating." Admiral Gleep grunted, "Then we take them by surprise elsewhere. Somewhere unexpected, where our arrival can't possibly be mistaken for a celebration." The alien strategists pored over Earth's geographical data, searching for a target that would surely recognize the gravity of an alien invasion. Their screens flickered over landmarks, military bases, and capitals before freezing on an image of a bustling, expansive flat ground packed with humans and colorful structures. "The gathering is immense here," Zor pointed out excitedly. "This must be one of their major strategic centers." "Perfect," Gleep smirked. "Prepare for immediate descent." The target was none other than Walmart on a busy Saturday. This time, they would land right in the parking lot, ensuring visibility and immediate impact. As the Zodblation hovered over the Walmart in Springfield, Missouri, the ship's shadow cast a massive silhouette across the parking lot. Shoppers looked up, some startled, others curious, but many simply continued pushing their carts, indifferent to the spectacle above. "Deploy the troops. Show them no mercy," Admiral Gleep commanded, expecting the humans to scatter in terror. The ramp lowered with a dramatic hiss, and the alien warriors descended, armed with stun rods and nets, ready to subdue any resistance. But instead of encountering a panicked crowd, they were met with mild curiosity. A group of teenagers was the first to approach. One pulled out a smartphone, began filming, and shouted, "Yo, is this like a new movie promo or something?" Confused, the lead alien trooper, Grox, tried to assert his authority. "Earthlings, submit to us. We are your new rulers." Instead of screams or retreat, a small child tugged on his parent's sleeve and asked loudly, "Can we keep one? He looks funny." Meanwhile, a local blogger, thinking it was a publicity stunt, began live-streaming the event. "Folks, you're not gonna believe this, but we've got aliens in Walmart parking lot. This has got to be the most epic promo ever." Admiral Gleep, watching from the command deck, felt his tentacles twitch in irritation. Increase the intimidation tactic. "Grox, use the voice amplifier." Grox activated his suit's voice enhancer, his voice booming across the parking lot. "This is not a drill. We are real aliens. Surrender now." His declaration was met with cheers and claps. A couple near the front of the crowd high-fived. "Best Saturday ever," they exclaimed. One brave soul wandered through the crowd with a tray of hot dogs from a nearby stand, offering them to the aliens. "You guys gotta try these. Nothing says welcome to Earth like a good old-fashioned hot dog." Grox, unsure of the protocol in such bizarre circumstances, accepted the hot dog. His first tentative bite turned into enthusiastic munching. "Commander, you must try this sustenance." Back on the ship, Admiral Gleep watched in disbelief as his invasion force mingled with humans, taking selfies and discussing the merits of mustard over ketchup. As the sun set over Springfield, the Zodblation retreated once again, leaving behind a crowd of humans who were already posting videos and planning their costumes for next year's alien invasion party at Walmart. The aliens had failed to instill fear, but they had unintentionally become social media sensations overnight. After the disastrous attempt at Walmart, which turned their invasion into a community event, Admiral Gleep was desperate to salvage the operation. He convened his war council once again, this time targeting a location where no Earth celebration could possibly coincide with their arrival, Miami Beach. "It's sunny, crowded, and surely no one there will think an alien invasion is a party trick," Gleep reasoned, observing the live feeds of sunbathers and volleyball players. Determined, the fleet descended on Miami Beach at high noon. The Zodblation cast a shadow over the sunbathers, momentarily causing a chill that made several people look up from their towels. Expecting chaos, the aliens were baffled when the humans merely adjusted their sunglasses and continued slathering on sunscreen. "Deploy on the sand. This time, there's no retreat," Admiral Gleep commanded, his voice tinged with frustration. The hatch opened, and alien troops poured out, their suits designed to intimidate with shimmering scales and pulsating lights. They marched onto the beach, their steps causing the sand to shift awkwardly under their feet. Their leader, Commander Flix, approached a group of beachgoers with a translator device. "We claim this territory in the name of the Zodpax Empire. Resistance is futile." A beachgoer, sipping a fruity cocktail, looked up with a bemused smile. "Dude, that's some wicked cosplay. Are you guys here for the beach rave later?" Confused but undeterred, Flix tried to push forward, only to be interrupted by an excited party planner. "Hey, if you're part of the entertainment, you're late, but just in time for the conga line." Before Flix could respond, music started, and the aliens found themselves enveloped in a crowd of partygoers who began to conga around them. Some aliens tried to break free, but the rhythm and laughter were contagious. A few younger troops inadvertently began moving to the beat. Seeing the confusion, Admiral Gleep urgently radioed in. "Commander Flix, report status." Flix, struggling to maintain order as a beach ball bounced off his head, replied, "Sir, the humans have incorporated us into their festivities. We are participating in a ritual dance." Meanwhile, another group of aliens had encountered children building sandcastles. Curious, a young alien named Zib approached and began helping, fascinated by the architectural forms made from sand. The child's mother, amused, offered Zib a shovel, which he accepted with ceremonial gravity, completely forgetting his mission. Back at the command ship, Admiral Gleep watched as his fierce warriors became beach entertainers and sandcastle architects. He could hardly believe his eyes. His army, designed to instill fear and obedience, was now part of beachfront recreation. As the day wore on, the aliens' participation only deepened. Some were invited to play volleyball, where their lack of understanding of the rules turned the game into a hilarious spectacle. Every mishit and stumble was met with cheers and laughter from the humans, further cementing the aliens' unintended reputation as beach comedians. By the end of the day, not a single human had been conquered, but several aliens had been invited to evening barbecues and one even won a prize in a spontaneous dance-off. Commander Flix, sandy and wearing a newly acquired pair of sunglasses, reported back to Admiral Gleep, "Sir, it seems we have been thoroughly defeated by Earth's hospitality and recreational activities." Admiral Gleep, watching the sunset tint the beach in hues of gold and pink, sighed deeply. "Retreat," he ordered, feeling the weight of yet another failed attempt. "Let's regroup and figure out where we went wrong." As the Zodblation ascended, leaving behind a beach still echoing with laughter and music, the aliens realized they had underestimated Earth's most potent defense, its ability to turn anything, even an alien invasion, into a reason to celebrate. Admiral Gleep, growing increasingly desperate to demonstrate the might of the Zodpac's fleet, decided that a change in climate might also change their fortunes. Perhaps a colder, less hospitable environment will dampen these humans' inexplicable enthusiasm, he mused, scanning Earth's diverse landscapes. The alien strategists settled on Canada during the winter, thinking the harsh weather would naturally discourage the festive spirit and gatherings that had thwarted their previous attempts. No beach parties in the snow, Gleep noted with a rare flicker of optimism. The fleet descended over a small, picturesque town in the Canadian Rockies, blanketed in deep snow and twinkling with holiday lights. It was quiet, the cold seemingly keeping most residents indoors, ideal conditions for a straightforward, uncontested conquest. "Deploy the Snow Division," Admiral Gleep commanded, envisioning a quick and decisive victory. The alien troops, equipped with thermal suits and snow-treading gear, stepped onto the powdery surface. They advanced toward the town center, where a large, brightly lit tree stood adorned with colorful decorations and surrounded by what appeared to be ice sculptures. Commander Flix, leading the operation, activated his translator. "Attention, humans of Earth. Surrender to the Zodpac's empire, and you will not be harmed." His declaration was met with silence, save for the soft whisper of falling snow. Just as Flix was about to declare the operation a success, the town hall doors burst open, and a group of cheerful residents emerged, wrapped in thick coats and scarves, holding steaming cups of hot chocolate. "Oh, you must be here for the ice festival. We were just about to start the judging for the best sculpture," one of the residents called out, approaching the aliens with a friendly smile. Confused but wary, Flix responded, "We are here to conquer, not to carve." The resident, undeterred, laughed heartily. "Well, why not conquer our ice carving contest first? It's a tradition here, and it's all in good fun." Before the aliens could regroup, they were handed tools and blocks of ice. The townspeople, assuming the visitors were part of the festivities, eagerly showed them how to sculpt. The aliens, puzzled yet intrigued by the human tools and techniques, began chiseling away, their mission momentarily forgotten. Admiral Gleep, watching from the ship, grew frustrated as he observed his troops, once fearsome warriors, now delicately crafting ice sculptures under the guidance of cheerful earthlings wearing festive hats. "Commander Flix, what is the meaning of this?" Gleep demanded over the communicator. Flix, his hands busy sculpting what accidentally became a passable ice penguin, replied, "Sir, attempting to resist has only led to further integration into their cultural activities. They are resistant to conquest but remarkably open to sharing their traditions." As the evening progressed, the aliens' ice sculptures, ranging from abstract shapes to unintentionally hilarious interpretations of Earth animals, became the highlight of the festival. The locals, delighted by the aliens' efforts, awarded prizes and invited them to join in other winter activities. The night ended with the Zogpak's troops sitting around a bonfire, sipping hot chocolate and listening to stories about past festivals. The town mayor, sitting next to Commander Flix, patted him on the back and said, "You know, you folks have brought a lot of joy here today. Not quite what you intended, I suppose, but perhaps more meaningful." As the Zodblation retreated once again, Admiral Gleep realized that Earth's cold climates were no less hospitable than its beaches. His crew, now equipped with ice sculpting awards and new winter hats, had failed to conquer but succeeded in unintentionally joining yet another Earth community. Reflecting on the day's events, Gleep had to admit, albeit grudgingly, that perhaps Earth was not a planet to be conquered but one to be experienced, with its relentless hospitality turning every invasion into an invitation. Convinced that a change of tactics was necessary, Admiral Gleep gathered his command team for a strategic overhaul. "We need a new approach, something that targets Earth's command centers directly," he declared, his eyes scanning over a digital map of Earth glowing on the table before them. "They're technological hubs. If we control the technology, we control the people," Lieutenant Zorp suggested, pointing to a glowing dot labeled Silicon Valley, a name synonymous with Earth's technological prowess. Admiral Gleep approved the plan with a nod. "Prepare for the Silicon Valley siege. This time, we strike at the heart of their technological infrastructure." As the Zogpak's fleet descended over California, their targets were the sprawling campuses of the tech giants, known for their futuristic architecture and the bright minds that populated them. The alien troops were deployed with precision, surrounding one of the largest campuses with the intent to seize control of what they believed to be Earth's central tech command. But as they marched towards the main building, instead of encountering secured doors and guards, they found open courtyards and relaxed tech employees playing ping-pong and lounging on beanbags. Commander Flix, leading the ground force, was the first to confront a group of software engineers. "Surrender your command center to the authority of the Zogpak's empire," he demanded, his voice amplifier turning his words into a booming command. One of the engineers, not even looking up from his laptop, chuckled and replied, "Dude, it's just cloud storage. Everything's decentralized. But hey, if you can help debug this code, you're more than welcome to try." Confused but undeterred, Flix motioned to his troops to move forward. But instead of capturing the building, they were inadvertently drawn into a tech talk being hosted in the outdoor amphitheater on artificial intelligence ethics. The aliens, curious and confused, sat down, trying to blend in and gather intelligence. Meanwhile, Admiral Gleep, monitoring the situation from orbit, grew increasingly frustrated. "What's happening? Why haven't we taken control?" Back on the ground, another group of aliens had entered what they thought was a strategic communications hub but turned out to be a video game testing area. The testers, assuming the aliens were part of a surprise immersive user experience, handed them controllers. "Here, tell us if you can beat this level," they said, eager to observe the reactions. The aliens, skilled in navigating their own advanced technology, took to the games with surprising adeptness. Laughter and cheers erupted from the room, not from fear or resistance, but from genuine enjoyment and camaraderie. As the day progressed, the aliens found themselves engaged in various unplanned activities across the campus, from participating in virtual reality demos to discussing space travel theories with intrigued astrophysicists who thought the aliens were just very committed cosplayers. By the end of the day, no technology had been commandeered, No data centers breached. Instead, the aliens had inadvertently contributed to several tech projects and were even invited to a coding hackathon. Commander Flix, reporting back to Admiral Gleep, sighed, "Sir, instead of seizing their tech, we've been integrated into their development teams. They've asked us to return for a product launch next week." Admiral Gleep, his plans foiled yet again, couldn't help but marvel at the resilience and openness of Earthlings. "Retreat," he ordered with a weary tone, realizing that every attempt to dominate Earth had only deepened their appreciation for its inhabitants. As the Zogpak's fleet pulled back, leaving Silicon Valley untouched but for a few new alien-inspired tech ideas, they pondered the ironic outcome of their siege. In trying to conquer Earth's technology, they had become part of its innovation cycle, invited back not as conquerors, but as collaborators. After repeated attempts to conquer Earth that ended in inadvertent participation and integration into human festivities, technological hubs, and community activities, Admiral Gleep found himself at a crossroads. The entire fleet gathered for what was meant to be a regrouping session aboard the Zoblation, but it felt more like a debrief on an unexpected cultural exchange program. "Review the mission objectives," Admiral Gleep commanded, his voice weary but calm, a stark contrast to the fiery spirit he had exhibited during their initial descent. Lieutenant Zorp stood, clearing his throat, his screen flickering with images of Earth, Times Square lit with alien light shows, Miami beach parties, Canadian ice festivals, and Silicon Valley tech labs. "Sir, each attempt to conquer has resulted in a cultural assimilation. Earth's defenses seem impenetrable not due to military might but due to their ability to absorb and celebrate differences." Around him, the crew nodded, some with amusement, others with a hint of admiration. Stories were shared of human kindness, ingenuity, and the unexpected joy they found in Earth's diverse experiences. Commander Flix, who had been at the forefront of many of these encounters, added, "Perhaps our approach was misguided. We sought to conquer by force, yet we were welcomed with curiosity and camaraderie. Maybe we should consider Earth not as a target but as an ally." Admiral Gleep listened, his eyes reflecting a complex mix of frustration and enlightenment. "An ally," he mused, the word feeling foreign yet fitting. He turned to face the holographic map of Earth, its blue oceans and green lands vibrant and inviting. "It appears we underestimated Earth. Not just in their capacity to resist, but in their ability to embrace." A silence filled the room as the weight of their experiences settled in. It was broken by Gleep's decisive tone. "Prepare for departure. Set course for home." "But sir, the mission," one younger officer asked, confusion evident in his voice. "Our mission has changed," Gleep replied, a slight smile curving his lips for the first time in what felt like millennia. "We came to conquer but learned instead. We will return to Zogpax not with tales of conquest, but with tales of Earth's resilience and richness. We will share our experiences about a planet where not the mightiest weapons but the strongest hearts prevail." As the fleet made its preparations to leave, a new kind of preparation began. Instead of strategizing invasions, the crew compiled reports not of battle tactics, but of human culture, technology, and the potential for peaceful exchanges. The journey back to Zogpax was quiet, reflective, filled with discussions not about the next battle but about the next diplomatic mission, perhaps back to Earth, this time not hidden in shadows but in open light. When the fleet finally arrived back at their home planet, the reception was unlike any other. Expecting a triumphant return, the Zogpaxian High Council was met instead with stories of a world vibrant with life and possibilities, of a people unyielding in spirit yet open in heart. Admiral Gleep, standing before the council, concluded, "Let this be a lesson in humility and curiosity. We sought to teach Earth our ways of power but ended up learning from their strength of spirit. I propose we consider not how we might conquer other worlds, but how we might join them in understanding." The council, moved and intrigued, agreed. Earth would no longer be a target but a destination for friendship and learning. And so, the failed invasion became a legendary tale of unexpected unity, taught to future generations as the Battle of Bloopers, a series of comedic errors leading to a profound revelation about strength, not found in arms, but in the ability to connect and embrace. Months after the Zogpax fleets returned to their home planet, the tale of their invasion of Earth became a galactic sensation. What was intended to be a display of military might and strategic superiority had transformed into a series of comedic misadventures, leading to an unexpected diplomatic epiphany. Admiral Gleep, once a fearsome leader known for his stern command and impeccable record, had now unwittingly become the face of a new kind of interstellar celebrity. He found himself invited to speak at intergalactic conferences not about conquest, but about cultural assimilation and the unexpected benefits of interstellar diplomacy. His speeches, filled with anecdotes from their failed invasion, drew laughter and applause across the galaxy. The story spread far and wide. It was featured in the Galactic Chronicles, an esteemed publication read by billions across different worlds. The headline read, "Earth, the planet that partied its way out of peril." The article detailed the misinterpretations of human activities as hostile actions and how each attempt to intimidate ended up as part of earthly festivities. In Zodpaxian schools, the curriculum soon included a new subject, intergalactic cultural relations, inspired by the Earth missions. Students learned about the diversity of life forms and the importance of understanding and respecting different cultural practices. The Earth mission was used as a case study on how initial misunderstandings can lead to enriching experiences if approached with openness and curiosity. Meanwhile, back on Earth, oblivious to their galactic fame, the various spots where the Zodpaxians had landed became tourist attractions. In Times Square, a new plaque was unveiled, reading "Site of the New Year's Eve Extraterrestrial Light Show," which puzzled most Earthlings but became a selfie hotspot. In Miami Beach, annual beach parties now featured alien-themed costumes and games. Silicon Valley tech companies launched new projects inspired by the brief alien encounters, focusing on improving user experience through what they called extraterrestrial user interface innovations. Admiral Gleep's memoir, How to Fail at Conquering a Planet, a step-by-step guide, became a bestseller. It was praised not only for its humor but for its insightful commentary on the value of empathy and understanding in leadership. The book ended with a note, "Sometimes, the best way to win is to embrace the possibility of losing." Earth taught us that. The tale of the Zodpax fleet became a beloved comedy, retold in films, series, and plays. The galactic community didn't just laugh at the story, they embraced its deeper message, leading to a significant increase in peaceful explorations and cultural exchanges among the stars. On a more personal note, Admiral Gleep was awarded the Galactic Peace Medal, an honor given to those who significantly contribute to peace across the universe. During his acceptance speech, Gleep said, "We set out to conquer Earth and returned conquered by their spirit and joy. It turns out, the best way to conquer is to make friends." As the story of the failed invasion continued to inspire laughter and lessons alike, the Zodpaxians were no longer seen as fearsome invaders but as pioneers of a new era of intergalactic relations, one filled not with battles, but with laughter, learning, and a lot of unexpected parties.